Trailcutter is a skilled wilderness warrior with an impenetrable force field. Wait, I thought your name was Trailbreaker.
Welcome back to eBEFOREi Video Reviews. Today I'll be reviewing Transformers Prime Beast Hunter's Cyberverse Commander, Trailcutter. For those of you who are wondering who Trailcutter is, well, back in Generation 1 he was called Trailbreaker. And for some weird reason, I seem to recall that he was called Trailblazer at one time. Either way, those two names seem to have some type of copyright issues, so here we are, he's Trailcutter. Whatever the heck that means. He cuts trails. So those that have been following my channel know that I have not normally been reviewing Cyberverse figures. There might be one or two there. Generally not something that I collect. However, I saw this guy in the store, he looked interesting, and so I figured he might be worth picking up and you know, opening him up and sharing my thoughts of the figure with you right here. Yes, you. Taking a quick look at the box. As you can see, even the Cyberverse figures get these brand new Beast Hunters boxes, and it looks pretty good. He's easy, level 1, which means I should be able to figure this one out. Should. Aegis 5+, the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters, you still have Predaking on the side of the box. Holler Missile Launcher. I have no idea what that is, but we'll find out together. Highly photoshopped picture that seems to be lacking some color, because right off the bat I'm seeing red here, and, well, interesting. Usually it's the reverse. You see these highly painted figures here, and you look at the actual character and you're like, what happened? On the back of the box, a bio, a hub sticker, the Howler Missile, everything we've basically already gone over. And for those that want to see the Cyberverse picture right here, they haven't seemed to have done anything new to this. I could be wrong, but there's no new Beast Hunter type characters here, just the typical animation. On the side, we've got some technical specs. His strength is a 6, intelligence is 7, speed is a 5, endurance is 7, rank is a 5, courage is 6, fire blast is 6, and skill is a 5. Well, he's a fairly mediocre robot. He's Commander Class Series 3, Figure 5. On the bottom there's a whole bunch of fine print that I could care less and really don't feel like reading. So let's go ahead and get Trailcutter opened up and, you know, we'll see if he was worth the pickup or not. Here's Trailcutter out of the box and transformed into his, well, his truck mode thing? I should say right off the bat that this is a remold of the Cyberverse Ironhide figure from Transformers Prime, who in deluxe version turned into Sergeant Cup here in the United States. So as a remold, he was fairly significantly retooled, in a good way. This isn't bad looking, and oh, lo and behold, the red is gone. So that's interesting because all the red bits on this figure are right up underneath him. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Let's take a look at some of the details up close. For the Cyberverse scale, the details aren't too bad. He's got some pretty nice yellow paint and some kind of light blue where the windshield would be. Not sure how light blue that looks right here, but it's there. You also have nice metallic silver right here in the back and metallic silver on the top right here. The weapons out front are painted. The top portion is actually not painted. That's Jet Viacon General Gray. And you've got some nice gold right there in the headlight section. No paint on the grille. No paint on the Predacon shovel. And just like Ironhide, there's a non-finished bed right here in the back, which sadly is a lot more filled in than the deluxe counterpart. You do have some nice in-plastic molded detail here. And right there on the window, you've got door handles molded in, so overall, I'd say it's quite nice. As far as the in-plastic molding is concerned, there's nothing on the back. And again, I'm not going to be too picky on this as a Cyberverse figure. He does have a couple of ports. Actually, he's got quite a few that you can store weapons. On the sides of the doors, on top of the hood, in the back, and although he has this giant peg here, I don't believe that this particular weapon pegs underneath. Now, let's talk about the Howler Missile. The fact that this is a Cyberverse figure, Hasbro decided that they didn't want to spend the money and put a spring in here. So you have two pieces, and if you pull them apart, well, what you have is a wizard staff, clearly, because that would make sense, as well as a grappling hook, because that makes sense as well. Now, it would have been kind of cool if it sprung out, I guess. It's funny, I don't ever think that I'm a fan of springs and weapons, but now that it's not here, I kind of feel like I'm a little bit left out. Now again, Cyberverse class, so I'm not expecting a whole lot of bells and whistles, but a spring there would have been kind of nice. If you put that on the front of the truck, well, it looks even almost more absurd than it did before. Not terrible, just absurd. You can stick these things in the sides of the doors, but if you do that, you're going to want to curve it up a bit because it's actually got a little piece on the side that hinders the wheel right there. You can also split this apart. You can put the grappling hook on the back. Kind of looks like some kind of super exhaust. You know what would look awesome is if I had two of these things, because these things on the back would look pretty freaking cool. But no, Hasbro, I'm not buying another one. Well, maybe. No, I'm not. Well, I might. No, I'm not going to do it. All four wheels roll pretty nice here. I don't really have any complaints other than just the overall odd look. But that's kind of what brings this out, and that, in a weird way, is kind of why I like this. Let's go ahead and get him transformed. To transform Trailcutter, the first thing you want to do is you want to bring these two front weapons right here and pull them up in the air just like that. Now you want to come around to these back fins and you want to pull them apart just like that. From here you want to come down to what become the legs and just pull them apart like that, separate them, and instead of spinning the waist, you want to spin actually the upper torso section. Now if you have problems spinning this around, well, come around to the other side. And you want to make sure that these tabs have enough clearance in the arms. So bring them up a bit if you need to, and then just spin the whole thing around, and you should have nothing stopping you at that point. From here, you want to bring the arms completely down like that, come up to the top portion, and push these little weapons forward in a kind of tab in place. Not really a sharp tab. In fact, it doesn't really tab at all now that I'm looking at it. But it does give you kind of a satisfying drop, and you know that it's in place. It's not going to flop around on you. You want to come down to the feet. Just get your thumb in the inside and pull the whole thing down like that. Rinse and repeat on the other side. Bring the toes down, and you've basically built the legs. The only thing that's left is to deal with the arm kibble. And you want to take that and just sort of bend it, not all the way, because that covers up the hand, but about a halfway like that. Now that sounds silly, but that's what the directions want you to do. And so that's what we're going to do right here. The last thing you want to do is you want to take these wheels and you want to move them all the way to the back. So it just kind of gets them out of view. Now you can keep them on the side. It's not unheard of to have a wheel on the side of a Transformer's arm. But if you choose to display them properly, well, just stick them in the back just like that. From this point, you're ready to stand him up, pose him up, and here's Trailcutter in his robot mode. Taking a closer look, his face here is kind of nice. I like the way that looks. It's very kind of a little bit like a bug. Not quite an Insecticon, but you know, get the idea. I love that he's got a little tiny Autobot symbol there. That's pretty cool. And I also love these shoulder flares, which is what the Beast Scooper became once you separated the shoulders. The weapon looks pretty good in hand. If you have 3D glasses on, well, it's still not in 3D. I don't have that kind of camera. But it looks pretty, you know, looks okay. I love the fact that the red is completely brought out on this figure, and as you saw in vehicle mode, not a single piece of the red was exposed when he was a truck. Now he's got nice silver right there in the face, red paint in the eyes, the gold comes through, which we saw in the truck mode, as does the windshield. You've got nice silver paint right in the abdomen area right there. You've got very, very nice silver right over here where the knees would be. Red underneath that, red trim on the arms, and red trim up here on the shoulders. This guy's painted better than most of the deluxe figures we've seen recently. I've got somewhat of a problem with that. Articulation for this character is actually pretty excellent. The one flaw is that the head doesn't move. So let's get these things out of the way. There is no rotating the head here. That head is locked in tight. That fact aside, you've got a ball joint right there in the shoulder. You've got a just under the shoulder hinge, you've got a ball joint in the elbow, no wrist articulation, no waist articulation. You've got a ball joint in the legs, a hinge on the knees, and foot articulation as well as an ankle pivot, all due to transformation, but it really leads to a character that you can really get some cool poses out of, and he's just not in any danger of tipping over. Now, I always think it's important to know what a Transformer looks like from behind as well, and actually, not too bad at all. He actually has less kibble than Deluxe Class Beast Hunter's smokescreen. Now, I'm not going to go through all the rest of the places that you can peg this weapon on, but, you can go to the side of the arm. You can actually put it in the back right here, and you can have it stick straight up, kind of like some other Transformers we've seen in the past. There's a lot of things that you can do with this as well. I should make a quick note and let you know that there's no expanded bio in the Cyberverse version of Beast Hunter figures. So we know nothing more about Trailcutter, outside of what I read to you on the back of the box. So that's my review of Transformers Prime Beast Hunter's Cyberverse Commander class Trailcutter. For a Cyberverse figure, highly recommended. I think this guy looks great. His truck mode is funky. It's got a lot of just neat bits to it. Fits the Beast Hunters line quite well. I love the black colors. I love how the red is only exposed in robot mode and not at all in vehicle mode. The weapon, while it could use a spring, is fine as is. And how many Transformers do you know that come with something that looks like a wizard staff? Awesome. All in all, if you see this guy and you collect Cyberverse figures, well then I do indeed recommend him. Well, that's it for this review. I want to thank each and every one of you for watching eBEFOREi video reviews. Your support means absolutely everything to me. If you happen to be watching this video anywhere other than YouTube, you can see all of my videos at youtube.com/eBEFOREiNet. If you want to follow me on Facebook, where I post lots of pictures of things that I'm going to be reviewing, and just general commentary here and there, I'm at facebook.com/eBEFOREi. If you want to communicate with me via Twitter, well, you can do that too. I'm at twitter.com/e_before_i. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you again real soon.